Got it on the beat, man. Whoa, whoa.
But they're so on this.
One gotta be a fan of the football team. To be a reporter, man, it's his dream. One gotta be a fan of the football team. To be a reporter, man, it's his dream. You got Terry over there, Chase on the edge. One gotta never miss an upload on the football team. So hit the subscribe for my man. And turn on post notifications. Hit that thumbs up for my man. Watch the team in the Super Bowl.
You can't have day two without two. It's football day. It's a football day. It's football day.
Day 2 in the books. Come back better tomorrow.
Hey, whatever you did yesterday, it ain't good enough. That's why we out here getting better. 1% better every day.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with yet another Washington football team video, and in today's video I'm coming on here to recap Washington's day 2 of training camp. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case our Washington football team. Also, I want to ask that you guys do me a favor, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Juan Gotti Talking Sports. The links are down below in the description. It's free, of course. Thank you for your follow in advance. Now let's get straight into today's video. So I hate doing this, but unfortunately we have to start on the video by talking about an injury. The injured player is Ricky Seals-Jones. He went down on the turf and it looks to be in major pain with a right leg injury. Hoping for the best. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but now with him assuming to be the third tight end and he's being hurt, hopefully, like I said, we don't know the severity of the injury right now, but hopefully it's not major. But if it is, Sammis Reyes is going to make this roster. You know, a lot of people were like, I don't know if he's going to make this roster, probably the practice squad, but we have no choice now if Ricky Seals-Jones is going to be hurt. And like I said yesterday, Sammis Reyes had a couple good plays from yesterday, and today he was continuing to make good plays. So if we have to put, you know, Sammis Reyes on this active roster as a third tight end, I would not mind it. As long as he continues to make good plays like this and have a strong preseason, I wouldn't mind it. But unfortunately for Ricky Seals-Jones, he got hurt, and it sucks because I really don't like seeing players get hurt, especially players that, you know, need to prove themselves and trying to find a spot on the roster. It just sucks, man. So prayers up to Ricky Seals-Jones. Hopefully it's not nothing serious, but I'll keep you guys posted once I find out the severity of the injury. Moving on, before we actually get into the notes about training camp, I just want to talk about some key players. DeAndre Carter, Cam Sims, and obviously the defensive line. Do I even need to talk about the defensive line? I feel like I don't even need to make a segment about them because they dominate every single day, and we know that to be true. Like, they literally dominate. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen dominate. There was a couple plays where Montez Sweat, Jonathan, and Chase Young were back there together, you know. And then today, Wes Schweitzer got the better of John Allen, newly paid Jonathan Allen. Put some respect on his name. So Wes Schweitzer out there making good plays. But like I said, with this defensive line, I don't even think I need to make a segment for them because we know how dominant they are. They're going to dominate. It was so good today, like I said, that Chase Young and Montez Sweat were both back there together converging on the quarterback. So if it was a real game, it will obviously be a sack. And you're going to see a lot of that this year because this defensive line, more so our edge rushers, are just deadly. And obviously our interior pressure, but I'm talking more specifically for Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Moving on, I want to talk about Shaka Toney. He made some good plays today too, coming off the edge, and he showed that speed. I know a lot of people want to convert him to tight end, but nah, man. I'm telling you, after watching his film at Penn State and then continue to see him make plays at training camp, the guy's an edge rusher, and he's probably the edge rushing depth that we need. We need edge rushing depth, and I'm great to see him making plays. Also, William Bradley King is making plays too, and James Smith-Williams. James Smith-Williams had a great play against Sadiq Sadiq Charles where he beat him and he got back there to the quarterback. I want to say it was Kyle Allen that he could have sacked if it was obviously a real game. So I'm glad to finally see our edge rushing depth, making plays, because that's going to be important. That's going to be a key role of this team. I know a lot of people probably oversee that because we have Chase Young and Montez Sweat, but after that we really don't have anything. And if we want to be successful, their role is going to be key. They're like coming out of the bullpen in baseball. They're like coming in as the sixth man in basketball. That role is very, very important. And if Shaka Toney and or William Bradley King or James Smith Williams could be that guy for Montez Sweat and Chase Young, it's going to be hell for the opposing offense. So moving on, let's get right into these notes. So per Zach Selsby, shout out to Zach Selsby's for all these notes. Yesterday it was Rhiannon Walker, today it's Zach Selsby's. He says to kick off team drills, Davis, Holcomb, Bostic are your linebackers today. Landon and McClain are your starting free safety and strong safety. Now, one thing I have to say about this is probably, if Cam Curl isn't starting, which I really hope isn't true, but if Landon Collins is starting, this is probably going to be your starters, because we need a true free safety. I know they're trying combinations with Cam Curl and Landon Collins in there together, but obviously we know Cam Curl could play free safety, but he doesn't have that speed and range as a Bobby McClain would have, because he's a true free safety. So I would think that you would see something more like this than a Cam Curl and Landon Collins, or maybe they do roll with Cam Curl and Landon Collins, but this is more traditional, so I would expect something like this. You probably sub out Landon for Cam Curl, keep Landon in instead of Cam Curl, however they want to do it. But Jamin Davis out there at middle linebacker again for the second straight day as the starter. Maybe they try to put John Bostic at weak side. I don't want that to happen because he's not fast enough to play weak side, but they seem to really like Jamin Davis at middle linebacker, what they draft him to play. Next thing, Fitzpatrick ends his rep on a nice completion to John Bates. Smooth operation and solid blocking up front. So you have John Bates out there making plays. That's going to be even more important. Obviously, when this happened, we didn't know Ricky Seals-Jones was going to be hurt, but that's going to be even more important now that Ricky Seals-Jones is down. Like I said, hopefully it's not nothing too serious, but they're going to have to step up big. Lamar Miller's out there making good plays. He had a nice run up the middle. He was barely touched, if he was at all. Then you move on to Shaka Toney. I just talked about Shaka Toney. Just had a nice rep to disrupt the pass of Kyle Allen. Tyler Lawson recovered a little bit on the block, but Toney still managed to get pressure on the quarterback. Once again, we're going to need that from these edge rushers, edge rushing backups, because we need that. Chase Young, Montez Sweat, although they play like they're not human, they're human. They're still going to get tired at some point. So we need Shaka Toney, William Bradley King, James Smith Williams to be ready. Then you move on. It says, feels like I said this yesterday, but Schweitzer just had a nice block on John Allen. Schweitzer held up after Allen ripped move turned into a bull rush. Once again, we talked about that earlier. The defensive line still dominated, but you have Wes Schweitzer out there making good plays, and I think he is going to be your starting left guard, but you have Eric Flowers, you have Sadiq Charles, so we'll see, but I think Wes Schweitzer is going to be your starting left guard. Then you go over to J.D. McKissick. It says, man, McKissick just made a tough catch while going against Cole Holcomb. Both had a shot at to get the ball, but McKissick snatched it and tucked it under his body. It was a pretty solid gain. As we know, Cole Holcomb can play really good coverage, but J.D. McKissick is a former wide receiver turned running back, so that should not come as no surprise. As we know, Randy Jordan, the Chris Harris of the coaching staff, loves to hype out their specific position group, so it's great to see that. Then you have Sadiq Charles getting some work at guard with Kyle Allen at quarterback. He worked well with Wes Martin, and they handled the rushers. So you have Sadiq Charles and Wes Martin working with the third team. Once again, you have Sadiq Charles playing right tackle yesterday with the 1. Then you have him playing guard with the 3. So they're trying to find a specific role for Sadiq Charles, man. Forget it, man. He can play everywhere. That's always a plus. Left guard, right tackle, and right guard. Whatever they want to do with Sadiq Charles, he can play all over. Okay, so moving on to the next team, Georgia, you have Cameron Curl and Bobby McClain at safeties. Obviously they're rotating Landon Collins and Cameron Curl. Then you have Cole Holcomb, and then you have John Bostic there at linebackers. So it's great to see them actually rotating around Landon Collins and Cam Curl. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of Buffalo nickel because they want to have all these safeties on the field at once. Obviously, they're going to have them on the field because of that, but mainly because they don't want to have a guy that they're paying all that money to on the bench. They're paying this guy $85 million throughout the total of his whole contract, so they're not going to have him on the bench. So they're trying to find ways to include Landon Landon Collins and Cameron Curl, obviously why they're rotating them and why they're introducing the Buffalo nickel to us this year. So it says, another day, another INT. WJ3 was matched up against McLaurin. Looked like McLaurin slipped, and Jackson was there for an easy interception. So obviously, like I told you guys yesterday, this is going to be great competition for McLaurin and William Jackson III, because yesterday McLaurin got the best of William Jackson, and I know Terry obviously slipped, but William Jackson got the best of Terry on that matchup, and it's great because great competition. Iron sharpens iron, and like I told you, this is the only cornerback that I ever seen shut down Terry McLaurin, so it's going to help out both of these guys in their respective positions, so it's going to be easier when we play up against an opponent. Moving on, it says Fitzpatrick with another completion to Humphries, who beat WJ3 on the play as Humphries jogged back to the huddle. Jackson flashed a smile and wagged his finger at the wideout. Now, once again, you see them having that rapport, that chemistry, Fitzpatrick and Adam Humphries. He goes to him almost every play, as Rhiannon Walker pointed out, and that's going to be great. I know a lot of people like he might not make this roster, but I highly doubt that. He's going to be our slot receiver to at least start the season, and if you continue to leave him open underneath, Fitzpatrick is going to abuse him, and that's great for him and us, because although we want to see the deep shots, it doesn't hurt to have a little Alex Smith on you when you're dunking it down every single play for a gain of 5, 7, 8 to set up second downs, or even run for a first down and whatnot, and move the chain. So it's great to see them still having that rapport. Okay, so we have a nice play made by Troy Ackby. It says Troy Ackby is on the field and he tracked down DeAndre Carter and bet the ball away. Chris Harris sprints across the field to give him some props. So they still have Troy Ackby working at cornerback. Maybe that is going to be the way he makes this roster. We know safety was trouble for him, and he's been making some good plays at cornerback. So could Troy Ackby be a cornerback for Washington? We'll see. But moving on to the next quote by Zach Selsby. He says, and now we have the first De'Ami Brown deep shot at camp. Brown had a couple steps on his man and secured the pass from Kyle Allen. Now that's what De'Ami Brown can do. Obviously, we know that's what he specialized in at Carolina. So to see him making good plays like that is going to be phenomenal when it obviously happens in the game. So once again, we're going to talk about Cam Sims. I feel like Cam Sims is going to make this roster as a lock. Now, you know, I told you guys earlier in the offseason, I felt like he could be a guy on the outside looking in, but the way they're talking about Cam Sims is crazy. They're saying he's catching everything. He caught one one-handed while contested. Everything that is going to be thrown to him, it looks like he's catching, and per the reporters, everything is contested, but he's still finding a way to come down with them. So Cam Sims, but as we know, Cam Sims always has a phenomenal training camp. It's just all about consistency. Last year, he bursted onto the scene. Now, can he build on that? Like I said, I feel like he's going to be a lock to make this roster now, because at first, I thought, you know, maybe he could be a surprise cut, and he still very well could be. This is just my opinion. But if he's out there making plays like that on a consistent basis, man, Cam Sims, dog, he's going to be a phenomenal player for Washington if he continues to make plays like that on a consistent basis. Okay, so per Zach Selsby, it says Heineke makes a great pass down the field to DeAndre Carter, a guy that's been cooking today. And then also you have Fitzpatrick scrambling for a couple of yards for a gain down the field. The vet still has wheels per Zach Selsby. Now, I want to finish off this video talking about DeAndre Carter. The guy has been balling for the past 2 days. Him and Cam Sims have been my two most, excited players to watch, because they have been balling. And DeAndre Carter, remember I told you, I don't think they're going to devote a wide receiver 6 spot to a guy that's just going to solely be a punt returner slash kick returner. They're going to have to find a way to use them in the offense, and whoever that is going to be, Dax Milne, Steven Sims, DeAndre Carter, Adam Humphries, one of these guys are going to have to produce. Obviously, like I told you, Adam Humphries is a lock in my opinion, but I throw him in there because he can possibly be the punt returner. But for more specifically for the Dax Milnes, the Steven Sims, and the DeAndre Carters, they're going to have to find a way to play on this offense. They can't just be punt returners, and DeAndre Carter is seeming like that guy that's going to stick out and be that punt returner, also able to be a guy that's going to be used in the wide receiver room. So it's great to see DeAndre Carter making plays. You have AGG out there making a couple good plays, Kelvin Harmon obviously. So once again, another great day for the boys. Yeah, man, it's me, your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hell to the Washington football team. Not nothing too major today, obviously outside of the injury. Some great plays that you see from Taylor Heineke, DeAndre Carter, Cam Sims, the defensive line doing their thing, William Jackson III making a pick, Dayami with the great play, Terry McLaurin bouncing back, making a good catch on William Jackson. So another great day to get better for the guys. As always, it's been your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys feel like is your favorite part of training camp so far for the first 2 days. Like, comment, subscribe. Hell to the Washington football team. It's been your boy Juan Gotti. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Juan Gotti Talking Sports. The links are in the description. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you popped.